Supercross Masters, brought to you by Yamaha. Where you go now is up to you. And Spokes Promotions, coordinating Australia's National Supercross Series. They're heading back indoors. Not just for freestyling, these demons want to race. Celebrating its 21st birthday, the Supercross Masters is now a fully sanctioned Australian championship, and there's plenty of contenders for the title. In the blue corner, Craig Dack's Boost Yamaha team, and they've switched to a 254 stroke.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, you know, like racing out there against all the two strokes. This thing hasn't got the explosive power than like a 252 stroke Scott, but it's really good. Like I'm right to its full potential.
Reigning champion Andrew McFarlane is now racing in the World Motocross Championship. Filling his shoes at Team Green, Lee Hoagan, with Craig Carmichael busy as ever on the 125 and the 250.
I definitely feel a little bit of pressure to perform, but you know, everyone has injuries, you know, and Craig's definitely been flying the flag, you know, while I was out, and just hoping to get some good results at the indoors before the year's finished.
After a couple of lean years, 2001 is the turning point for Suzuki. Kiwi Darryl Hurley leading the charge.
They've chose me and Paul Broomfield and John O'Porter, and yeah, so they've put in a huge effort as well. So it's not sort of just getting me, it's been a whole team thing, sort of gone up to the next level, which is good.
You can expect the bar to be raised even higher for the Adelaide and Brisbane shows as the best Australian riders prepare for the arrival of Jeremy McGrath, the man recognised as the most successful Supercross rider in history. Ready to go head-to-head with the American is Michael Byrne. Fresh from a stint at the AMA and back in Honda colours, he's ready to step up to the gate.
If we're ever got a chance to beat him, it'll be on a tiny track like that, so where it's hard to make time up and hard to pull away.
In the meantime, another American is back down under. Mad Mike Metzger already offside with the officials for doing tricks during races.
And I was showing off, having fun. But they, you know, I guess the MA has different rules than back in America. So yeah, I am fired up. I'm here to have fun.
The bookies' favourite for the title is KTM's Craig Anderson, the series leader, comfortable with the tag.
Really, I'm pretty good under pressure in the recent years. I've won Sydney 3 years in a row and I won Melbourne 3 years in a row, and I think the pressure, when the pressure's on, I seem to perform the same. You know, it's all the same to me.
And it's not just the racing. The Extreme Boys are ready to unleash a whole new bag of tricks. Time now to take a closer look at the Adelaide layout with our co-commentator, John Cobby.
Thanks very much, Rusty. Here we see the opening left-handed hairpin. We're riding aboard the Pirelli Honda of Mr. Michael Byrne. Up ahead of him, Team Castrol KTM's Craig Anderson. They're setting themselves up now for the stutters. We should see plenty of passing in this section throughout the evening. Now into the right-handed berm. Now a step-up section and a step down, and look how far it is. It is a big one. They square up now and approach the mighty triple jump, giving it a fistful. Doesn't that look sensational? Now it's step-up time. Over goes Ando. The burner follows. Now it's back to the No Fear tabletop.
Well, there's been plenty of action in the heats tonight. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Away we go. Good start by the American, Mike Metzger, one of the original crusty demons, but it's Michael Byrne who gets the better of it. Broomfield in trouble.
Darryl Hurley for Axo Silverline Suzuki making a pretty good start. The burner chasing his rear mudguard at the moment as they hit the stutters, and Jason Andrews sitting in third place.
Burner well placed at the moment as they head towards this step-up section. Our leader, Darryl Hurley. Oh, someone's come down there. That's Mike Metzger in all sorts of trouble. The bike cartwheeling through the air.
The 25-year-old from Quail Valley in California has bitten it big time. He's obviously come up short. He's bailed from the bike and face planted severely after the step down.
So we have a full race restart on our hands without the American. Good start once again by Hurley on the extreme inside bike too. That is Michael Byrne. Hurley gets away brilliantly, so it's a repeat almost of the first one.
And how close was that, Rusty? The front wheel of the burner just about landing on the left shoulder of Daryl Hurley. Only mere millimetres in it as we watch them now lining up for the step-up section. It's still Hurley. Byrne now challenges, looks for the inside, and he's dropped the bike, I think. He has. He's in trouble here.
Well, the circuit is still a little damp, and on the greasy side, Byrne rejoins at the back of the field. Let's have a closer look at this on the replay, and the front end just washing away from him.
Quite lucky there that Matthew McKenna and Nathan Crawford both managed to avoid him as we get back to the action here. And it's Daryl Hurley who will take the checkered flag. A very good ride.
Good start to the evening for the Kiwi. The distinctive sound of the four-stroke in this one, Troy Carroll, and he looks a little ragged too on the Yamaha.
I'd say he's almost out of control, Rusty, as Broomfield bites the dust thanks to Carroll's aggressiveness, and Craig Carmichael also falls as we watch on the replay the pair of them vying for the same piece of terra firma, and in the end it really does end in disaster for Broomfield. Look at Paul Grant, sneaks through with a beautiful inside move.
Good strategy by Grant. Up in front, Troy Carroll is the man that leads the way from Shane Metcalf on the Honda. But Carroll, good exit there, and this will be a landmark victory for Yamaha, their first four-stroke win in the Supercross Masters.
Do you know what a no-hands catwalk is? What about an Indian Air? Double saran wrap, anyone? I'm Dan Kinnaird, see me in the Express session next.
Adelaide set to erupt with the first semi-final in the 250s. Craig Anderson, a brilliant start on bike 5 and gets the inside running to the first turn.
Daryl Hurley pressuring him as they work their way over the tabletop. Another Suzuki right up there amongst it. It's his teammate Paul Broomfield, and Troy Carroll also making a good start. But Craig Anderson, always very good in these semi-finals. When it's crunch time and he needs to finish top 3, he generally does.
Good battle going on there for fourth. Troy Carroll on the four-stroke Yamaha. Bike 2, though, that is Michael Byrne. 2 years ago, he won this series, and fresh from a very successful stint in America where he finished in the top 10. Gee, he is riding so strongly tonight.
He is, and he needs to make this pass, Rusty, because only the top 3 will transfer. He's up the inside. He's got it. Paul Broomfield now forced to take a back seat. And look at the burner go.
Real calculated and aggressive move from Michael Byrne in this one. But this is our series leader, Craig Anderson, and he takes out the first semi-final.
Semi-final number 2 now set to blast off. In fact, Grant runs right through the gate. It's on in earnest now as we pick up turn number 1. Cameron Taylor and Peter Melton. A couple of great starts from them, but it's Cam Taylor with Melton right on his rear mudguard as they swoop into the stutters for the first time.
Cam Taylor riding brilliantly this evening. Michael Byrne's return seems to have been a good motivational tool in the Honda pit, but Peter Melton, what a strong showing from him. He's been with Kawasaki now for something like 11 years, one of the real veterans.
Lee Hoagan for Team Green Kawasaki on bike 21, chasing Reggie Melton every inch of the way here. But the fact of the matter is, the pair of them will transfer if they stay where they are. They're in 2nd and 3rd respectively. Cameron Taylor, the Dandenong Dynamo, doing beautifully out in front and looks set to claim semi-final number 2 and a very good pick on the starting gate for the final.
On our way home, and this is the man who's out in front comfortably. Cam Taylor will take this one out from the veteran Peter Melton and Lee Hoagan. Freestylers turn to have a bit of fun now. First up, Jono Porter with a bit of a variation on the can-can.
It is. It's a 180 rotation on that. It's awesome stuff, isn't it, for JP out of Gladstone, the Gladstone Gladiator.
Luke Urek now, and he's one of the real freestyle experts, a Cordova.
The agility, it really is interesting to watch these guys way up in the air. They can't even see where they're going to land.
He was one of the favourites, Dane Kinnaird with a double saran wrap.
He does this beautifully, doesn't he? Both feet, both hands off the motorcycle at one time. Insane Dane, really letting it rip.
Robbie Marshall now, that is a lazy boy.
And once again, just staring at the ceiling, really with flagrant disregard for your landing. These guys are brave.
Jono Porter again, have a look at that. That is the kiss of death.
One of the first Australian riders to really perfect it. Mike Jones is good at it, but JP starting to get the hang of it. That was great.
Urek once again, and that's a heart attack.
Was named after Kerry Hart, one of the freestyle boys in the States. Look at that, his body almost vertical, Rusty.
That's a great shot there, right in your face. Kinnaird back in action once again, Indian Air time.
He does that one extremely well. Just look at him grab the back of the seat, throws the legs out in a scissor kick motion, looking good.
Now Jono Porter, and I tell you what, it's a bit of a sideways Superman almost.
The upper body strength to do something like this really is sensational, and he gets back aboard, lands the bike to perfection. He's very smooth, is JP.
He's been promising something special all night. Have a look at that, Dane Kinnaird, a no-handed catwalk.
Well, he's unleashed this one on the Adelaide fans here this weekend. That is a great effort, and don't the crowd just love it, Greg?
He's quit his job and racing to concentrate on jumping, and it's paid dividends. He picks up $1,000 from no fear.
I'm Mike Metcalf from the US, riding for Team Suzuki here in Australia for the Supercross Masters. Check it out on Channel 10.
At the end of last season, Michael Byrne made the break and headed to the US for a crack at the AMA Supercross Championship. The recent collapse of the privateer American team he'd been contracted to left the young Aussie high and dry. The Honda team seized on the opportunity to bring the former champion back to the fold. He impressed plenty of people during his stateside stint. Up against the world's best Supercrossers for the first time, the Burner scored a top 10 finish and learnt plenty.
I definitely learned a lot about just racecraft and just being aggressive on the bike and all those different types of styles and stuff that you got to incorporate with it now that we don't have over here. So it was a good learning experience, and I'm really glad I've done it.
When you watch him on track now, the experience gained in the US is obvious. His riding style smooth, precise, yet aggressive and calculating, something his teammates at Honda can draw on. Mind you, the Honda squad already has plenty of talent and experience. Burner's return seems to have made the competitive Cameron Taylor even hungrier.
Yeah, it does. You always, you want to do well, you want to win, you always want to beat your teammates sort of thing as well.
These days, Troy Doran just about has a mortgage on the #1 plate in the 125s. He says the team are a vital ingredient in his recipe for success.
We've got a pretty good association, I've been with them for 3 years now, and they're just a great bunch of people to work with, and the team's great, and they do things right, and it makes my job a lot easier. Good mechanics, nice people, good teammates, and it all works really well.
For Burner, the AMA Championship is still unfinished business. He's just signed a deal with Honda for a full factory tilt at the 2002 American title.
I'm going to go ride the 125 and for the factory team there next year, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And it's a factory ride, so I'll get all the best equipment and stuff. So it's just up to me now to put it to good use.
Burner may not be a championship contender this year, but you can expect Honda America's new young gun to pinch plenty of prize money and points.
125 final about to get underway. Jono Porter fresh from his stint in the expression session, and so too Robbie Marshall. Good field here, set for a start. Gee, they held him a long time there. We're up and running though. Good start by Doran, but he's boxed in the middle of things.
Gee, Jono Porter really served Troy Doran up there. A clash of handlebars, and JP, why, gee, he's on the gas here. A great start. The CDR Fox Yamaha speedster Shane Boyd, the young Victorian, has slotted very quickly into second, and Troy Doran under siege in third as Robbie Marshall and Craig Carmichael hound him through the step down.
Carmichael on a charge here. He's picked up a position. Here's Troy Doran with the #1 plate. He has been the mainstay of 125 racing for so long, hasn't he? He's been a champion on several occasions.
In the previous round last night, Rusty, Troy Doran dropped the bike twice in the final. It was most unlike him. Perhaps just a sign of the times with these young guns nipping at his wheels, trying to take the #1 plate off him.
Good ride at the moment from Shane Boyd in second place on the Yamaha. Here's Jono Porter, your race leader. Perhaps trying to make amends for the fact that he didn't get the $1,000 prize money in the No Fear expression session. Strong ride at this point.
He's already out to about a 10 to 15 metre advantage here. Look, the entire length of the Stutters, he is really flying around this track. I hope he can keep it all together because he failed to qualify for last night's final and he really needs the points.
This talented young man, Shane Boyd on bike 7, will be doing his best to bridge the gap. Jono Porter's come down. Now that is off the final step up just before the tabletop. Can you believe it? That promotes Shane Boyd to the race lead.
Terrible luck for JP. There's Troy Doran for Team O'Neill Honda, the Geelong speedster, in second place. But how about this young man? The Rosebud rocket ship out of Victoria for CDR Fox Yamaha. Looks set to grab 2 from 2 as he charges over the Team Green Kawasaki triple jump. He's lining up now for the step up and looks set to possibly claim another very valuable 20 championship points. He's got it. What a win.
Good, patient, level-headed ride from Shane Boyd. Doran gets home in second position, just ahead of Robbie Marshall, and limping home in last, it was Jono Porter.
I was concentrating on the start so much, and it's really important to get a good start in these indoors. And Jono got out there in front, and he started doing that step-on, step-off thing, and I haven't done it all night or all weekend. And I thought to stay with him, I have to start doing it, so I did it for the first time in the final then, and it's a bit sketchy, but it ended up good.
Well, the defending champion Troy Doran has a 9-point lead in the series, tied for third Shane Boyd and Jono Porter. Robbie Marshall 3 points further adrift.
It's always a nervous time for the riders just before the 250 final. Michael Byrne. There's Daryl Hurley, who did exceptionally well recently in Brisbane.
Lee Hoagan, the Victorian for Team Green Kawasaki, an indoor specialist. And there we're looking at the South Australian, I think Shane Metcalf, preparing himself for a big battle in front of his home crowd.
Series leader, Craig Anderson. There's Peter Reggie Milton, the veteran, in the final this evening. Let's have a look at the grid. Anderson, Cam Taylor, who's been riding exceptionally well. Shane Metcalf is in this one. So too Matty McKenna. Away we go in the final. Excellent start by the Castrol KTM pilot. And that is Craig Anderson. He takes the lead. Cam Taylor trying to come through as well. And Daryl Hurley in second.
A real helter-skelter start there as we look at Metcalf and McKenna bringing up the tail of the field, but it's all Craig Anderson, the Team Castrol KTM speedster, has got just the start he was after. We look behind him, it's Daryl Hurley, the New Zealander, the 23-year-old chasing him, and then it looks as though it's Lee Hoagan who's also made a pretty good start, but the burner now coming on strong.
Byrne will really start to apply the pressure. That's the way he's ridden this evening. He hasn't always had the best of starts, but he's gradually chipped away and worked toward the front. Now starting to apply a lot of pressure to Lee Hoagan. Gets up the inside with a block pass. Excellent move.
And he did not even touch him there. Good stuff. Of course, coming up August 11 and 12, Rusty, the burner will get to come up against Jeremy McGrath, one of the best that we've ever seen in the sport of Supercross, the American, visiting Australia and Rod Laver Arena. It'll be a biggie.
It'll be a thrilling contest, that one. Right now, he's concentrating on winning this one. Cam Taylor, his teammate, coming with him. But Byrne on a charge now, moving past Daryl Hurley. That's the same place he made a pass just a lap ago.
He's very quick through the stutters, sets up that pass just before them, and now the pursuit of Team Castrol KTM's Craig Anderson is on in earnest. And look at Cam Taylor, the O'Neill Honda rider, tries to become an enforcer but backs out at the last minute. His attack on Daryl Hurley is a very interesting one as we watch the pair of them slugging it out through the stutters.
Two different lines on the run into the stutters, and it's paid dividends for Cam Taylor. He gets up the inside of Daryl Hurley, so the Honda rider's now second and third. The man who is leading this one is the Castrol KTM rider. There he is, Craig Anderson, but under siege from Byrne.
Look at the pressure here. Michael Byrne about to show Craig Anderson perhaps a couple of the tricks that he learned in the US of A. He looks to the inside, Ando. A bit of a moment in the stutters, and this will, of course, allow Cameron Taylor to make up some more time. This could be a thrilling three-way dogfight to the finish.
These guys are going at it hammer and tong. How far in behind them is Taylor? Not too far. Excellent move up the inside by Byrne. He read the triple superbly. Anderson wants to argue a side-by-side effort from these two, but Byrne hangs on to the lead.
A pinpoint passing manoeuvre from Michael Byrne showing what he's learned in the US of A. And Craig Anderson now under siege from Cam Taylor, who shows him his nose in an attempt to worry him out of position. He charges up the inside. Ando comes back at him. What a dogfight this is.
Anderson is not going to want to let go of second position. He is our series leader. Keep that in mind. So points are all important here for the KTM pilot, but he is under immense pressure from Cam Taylor. Taylor wanting to stay in touch with his teammate Michael Byrne, who has cleared out. Now down the inside for Taylor, he does it.
Well, the stutters once again. These Honda riders really seem to revel in the stutters. Ando back in third. Can he come up with some sort of second wind and counter-attack against Taylor? I'm not sure if he can, but he'll have to be careful because Darryl Hurley is also lurking back in fourth.
Here's the man who's leading the way, Michael Byrne, former champion. He'll be contesting the rest of the Supercross Masters Series here in Australia before heading back to America to be teammate to the great Ricky Carmichael. So what a future lies in store for this man, Michael Byrne.
He's already beginning to celebrate. A la Jeremy McGrath, who we all know is coming soon, but Michael Byrne appears a cut above the rest of the pack, and he will claim the win, an emphatic one at that.
Cameron Taylor makes it a Honda 1-2 in third. Craig Anderson just ahead of Darryl Hurley. Further back, Matthew McKenna rounds out the top 8.
I just let the race come to me tonight. You know, all my heats and stuff. I didn't win a race all night, so you know, I got better as the night went on, and I'm just glad I was patient in the final and waited for the right time to make my move, and I made it stick, and it gave me a little bit of a gap to get away.
Cameron Taylor's second position. Supercross Masters brought to you by Yamaha. Where you go now is up to you. And Spokes Promotions, coordinating Australia's national Supercross series.